There's a race of men that don't fit in, a race that can't sit still. So they break the hearts of kith and kin, and they roam the world at will. They range the field and rove the flood, and they climb the mountain's crest. Theirs is a curse of gypsy blood, and they don't know how to rest. I always wanted to fly. I like things that you have to be very present for, and flying you have to be very present. But you get up there and you're above it all. And I heard Jim Shockey, who's an adventurer that I've always looked up to, he's like, when I'm on the top of the mountain, none of the noise matters. And I was like, dude, I can go jump in the plane, but I was like, the perspective you get of how small all the things that you worry about are, and you get to see creation in like an elevated, not altitude wise, but like you just get a more elevated perspective of the world and the place that you have adventures with. But yeah, flying's freedom. And I definitely thrive in like the single mindset activities, motocross, freestyle ramps, flying, drumming, where you can't think about anything else. It's funny now that I've addressed this with buddies and stuff a lot. It's like, I want to slap my 18-year-old self for thinking that this was a wasteland, you know. So I wanted to be in a city. I loved Bozeman at the time, but I was like racing in California a little bit. So I was like, I want to enter the race scene down there. So I didn't think Lewistown was where I'd end up. But so I remember being 18 and leaving and thinking I'll never come back, and then coming back for Thanksgiving and like really looking at it and being like, oh man, Lewistown's awesome, you know. And then as I got older, and then have girls, you know, I wanted them to see that there's a place where there is to do what you make to do, rather than just being distracted with like the nuance of metropolitans. My family's responsible for any of the success that I have, because when I graduated high school, my advisor told me not to go to college. You're not going to be successful. I was a talented blue-collar concrete worker and welder, and that's wonderful. But I had dreams so far beyond that, and I was very hungry and thirsty for life, that I wasn't gonna just suppress the dreams. I was just gonna figure out a way to get there. My dad told me if I did dumb stuff, he'd kill me, and I believed him. My dad was like an all-American athlete. I was very talented at sports, but I didn't like I was jumping my bicycle from the time I was little, like crazy, you know, doing crazy stuff. I liked Rush. And when I talked Dad into taking me my first motocross race, and he'd never seen me ride. Like, he made deals with me all the time. I was like, Dad, I want a dirt bike, I want a four-wheeler. He's like, cool, here, move to Malta. He's like, I got you a job with Malta Plumbing, and you're gonna live in a trailer house in Dodson, Montana, and work for under the table wages, and then you can buy a four-wheeler. He would make deals like that, so I bought a four-wheeler and I just started riding the freaking wheels off of it like crazy. And well, he took me to my first race, and I went and won the first race ever. And I'll get emotional, because it wasn't the first time he ever said it, but it's the only time it really ever stuck. He's like, I'm so proud of you, I could bust. And he, you know, I was never gonna do football. I thought that stuff was super boring. But racing, he like affirmed it in me that what I was doing. And I went and won. I like kicked ass. And so then he was like, all right, like, I'll take you where you want to go. The floodgates were open. I just committed. Like, I didn't party in high school or nothing. Like, I raced motocross. Like, I trained, I ran. And I think it's just a character trait, because whatever I do is kind of like I commit to it like that. Yeah, I ended up going pro my sophomore year of high school. And then I actually started like kind of growing out of what my dad even wanted to participate in. I got sponsored, just minor stuff, racing, but then I really started like winning races, and they started paying, you're never gonna make a living in Montana doing it, but I got invited to France and stuff, and so I ended up racing for Arctic Cat for a couple years. But it was like, you know, you do video scenes, go freestyle and stuff. I was just liked riding. Like, I liked how I felt when I did it, and I was good at it, and it was affirming. I had opportunities at a motocross contract that would have taken me to Europe, that when I met Rosie, I was like, that's an easy no. I'll figure out whatever I gotta do to build life with this woman, the girl at the time. But I was like, that stuff is all cool and fun, but I think the best version of me was doing this and still being able to enjoy the things in life that make me come alive. So I went and got a job as a structural electrical engineer. I kind of got my dream job. And I was able to buy a house, live in Great Falls. My dream was to like move up with the company and go back to Bozeman. It was good for me because I saw myself 30 years from now in the next cubicle over. And I was like, dude, if this is the move, I just go over to this guy, I'm probably still gonna put a pencil in my eye. And I was like, I wanna own an airplane. I wanna put my girls through college if that's what they wanna do. I wanna be able to provide more. I don't wanna show up here and know that it's okay for me to take an extra half hour at noon to go to the gym and just punch the clock. I exited that job while getting a promotion. I said, I can't take this. I'm actually gonna leave, and I'm gonna go bootstrap an environmental oil company business with my buddies on credit cards in North Dakota. So I was able to leave Great Falls, move back to Bozeman, move back into a fourplex unit with my family, and I learned a ton about business in that, working with some buddies. And we had like this band of brother thing where it's like, we're out to conquer the Bakken. And in that, I was able to actually sell the business. This is when the crash happened in 2014, and I saw it coming. For some reason, I had an intuition that talking to the people, I was a business developer, and I became a logistics engineer. And I was able to see it, and I told my buddies that had started, I was like, guys, this is gonna be bad. We're not a 100-year-old business. Like, we need to exit this. I found a buyer, did the introductions, and showed them around, showed them the processes, and was able to sell the business in a good time. Made no money on it, but I learned a ton, and I kind of got addicted to that. And then that's when I went and bought a site service, a lawn care company. I bought a lawn care company that I turned into a site service company and bought competitors and different divisions of and noxious weed stuff. And I was 24 with now a newborn, still living in an apartment, but buying a house in the middle of an oil crash. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing? You know, but you put yourself in those positions. And I don't know, one of these big Andy Elliott's or somebody said, it's like you take off a bite bigger than you can chew and you chew like fuck. I try to live like you do one thing the way you do everything, and you do everything the way you do one thing. So yeah, I want to be a businessman as I am a pilot. I want to be a motocross racer again, you know, which is 15 years ago I was a pro. Whatever I do want to do it very, very well. So in 2020, we came over to Lewistown to make a 15-year plan of like, we're gonna move and settle somewhere later. Found this land, made a quick deal on it and bought it. I sold the business and wanted to commit to a dream. And it wasn't my intent to build my own house. I wanted to buy another business and sub out my entire house. I actually don't enjoy construction at all, and I still don't. I'm capable, very capable of it. I grew up in concrete and worked for a commercial builder in here all through high school. I wanted this house so I can have this view and I can look out here and see creation and really have gratitude toward it. But like, I have no ego around I built this house. Honestly, it like will bring me to tears when my wife once a week is like, thank you for this amazing house. I was like, I want a house for my family, and I want a house that will support the lifestyle that I desire. So I did it. You know, and it's been a priority of me and my wife, Rosie, to like chase our own dreams. It doesn't mean we are not bad parents. Like we're very committed to our kids, but we are very committed to our own dreams. And we're not committed to our own dreams just because we want our kids to see us committed to our dreams so that then they chase their dreams, but that is a symptom of it. When you pursue the things that you want to do that make you a better person, your kids see that and they do that. And it's interesting to see that that is a symptom of just the way we've chosen to parent. They work really hard, and it's not because we told them to, it's just because they see us working hard at the things that we want to pursue. They see that and they embrace that, and it's really fulfilling to know that being truly genuine in how you live your life is very valuable for your kids. Everything that I do, if it's CrossFit or riding or flying or drumming or work, building business, like I'm very competitive, but I try to really enjoy all of it that I do. I call it 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, and you fit the rest in. I wake up in the morning, and if it's nice out, I go to the mountain, and it might be 4:45 in the morning. If it's not, and I go down to the gym and I have my coffee and I listen to music, I bust out some squats and just get my body woke up, whatever, that's great. Then I go to work and I work and I work and I work and I work. But I don't do downtime. I work till I'm done working. I hang out with my family. But if I have nothing to do, I sleep, and then I wake up and I work. But then it's like, you be where you are, be present, work, 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 play, 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 I still say I don't have enough time. Time's the most precious commodity, and that's like why it's on me. If I can, I want to make more time for everything. I want to make more time to get good at the things at work that I suck at. I want to make more time for my kids. I want to make more time for my wife. I want to make more time to be a lighthouse to the people that I'm compelling to give a faith journey to or something, Time is everything. So I don't squander it. But to appreciate the land the way, especially more and more the way I do. And I've been a pretty strict bow hunter my whole life, chasing the biggest bull elk that I can find. And I still like to do that with bears, deer, everything. But this year I'm like, dude, I just want to go be in the land. But I love the spirit of the land. All of this, I could sit here and just look at the mountains every day and just listen. When you're out there by yourself, it raises the bar on everything, but it's such you embody that whole adventure. And at the end of the day, I'm an adventurer. I hunt because it's an adventure. I fly because it's a little micro adventure. I get on my dirt bike and hit the 80-foot gap out there because it's just a drip of life, I like visiting, I like culture, I like going to Mexico, but Montana made me grateful.